I wore my pain like skin. A soul shed story. Welcome to the Soul Shed, where simple stories reveal deep spiritual truths. I am Edenlyn, light bearer of the Soul Shed, keeper of stories, watcher of the inner flame, guide for lost souls. There comes a point where the weight isn't just heavy, it becomes you. Where you don't just feel the darkness, you breathe it in. It sits on your chest like a name carved into bone. It doesn't scream. It whispers, quietly, every single day. I'm still here. And the worst part is, it's right. There's a kind of pain no one sees. It doesn't show up in photographs. It doesn't have a neat explanation. It lives in the cracks between heartbeats, in the moments when the world keeps spinning, but you've already fallen off. People say, you're strong, as if strength is a choice. But they don't see the nights you hold your breath, because exhaling feels like surrender. They don't see the 1,000 tiny wars inside your skull. This isn't a story of a hero. This is a story of someone crawling through hell with no promise of light. Once, there was a soul who walked a road so long they forgot what day felt like. The ground beneath their feet was cracked. Each step echoed like it was asking a question they couldn't answer. Why keep going? They didn't have a reason anymore. Not really. They carried their pain like a second skin. Some nights it felt alive. Other nights it felt like they were already gone. There was no grand revelation, no sudden sunrise, just another night, another storm inside their head. And in the middle of it, something broke. Not gently, not beautifully, like glass shattering in a silent room. But that break, it wasn't the end. It was real. And sometimes the most honest thing the soul can do is break. Because it's in the breaking the mask falls. The pretending stops. The screaming finally finds a voice. The wanderer knelt, not to pray, not to beg, but because their knees gave out. No words, no hope, just breath. And for the first time, they let it hurt, all of it. And the sky didn't part, the earth didn't split, no angels descended, but something inside, something buried beneath years of silence, whispered, I'm still here. It wasn't strength, it wasn't faith, it was survival, raw, ugly, real. If you're listening to this and you're in that place where hope feels like a story for other people, I see you. This world can be cruel. Life can tear through flesh and spirit and leave nothing but bones and breath. And sometimes, that breath is the only thing left. But breath is still life, and life, even when it's cracked, scarred, and bleeding, is still holy. They say light comes in the morning, but no one tells you that sometimes it doesn't look like the sun. Sometimes it's just you, sitting in the rubble, realizing you're still breathing. That's not weakness. That's resurrection in its rawest form. The wanderer didn't walk out of the night healed. They walked out real, with scars, with shadows, but alive. And that's what matters. This isn't a fairy tale. This is survival. This is the kind of story no one writes on postcards, the kind people live through and don't talk about. But here, in the Soul Shed, we talk about it. We honor it. We feel it. Because breaking isn't the end. It's the moment the mask falls, and the soul finally says, this is me, and that is where light begins. Not where everything's fixed, but where everything is true. So if you're walking with your pain tonight, don't let anyone tell you you're weak. You're carrying a storm and still breathing through it. That's not weakness, that's war. And you, my friend, you are still here. Thank you for listening to the Soul Shed. Until next time. take care of your light. And when it feels dim, come back, we'll be here. Because the soul remembers what the mind forgets.